Hi everybody, Cynthia here. I had a couple of requests in like a follow-up to the video that I had made about my updated scrapbook room. I had lots of questions about various things that I wanted to answer rather than keep emailing people back and forth. And I also wanted to share with you a couple of things that I have done since that last video. I have not scrapbooked any pages at all in the past week and a half, but I have a really good reason why. So I'm going to share that with you and then come back soon in a couple of days and share some pages. So let me start by answering questions, I think. Okay, first question I got had to do with how I store my ink pads for like my distress inks and my look, I can't even talk today, my glimmer mists. You're gonna laugh when I tell you that the reason that they're like that, they're like the cheap spice rack things that you can purchase. They look like little steps, right? Maybe you can see better here. That's what that is. And I put those so that I can have better access to see my stuff, and then also here. So I can have better access to see my shimmer mists. And I keep them turned towards me so that I can see what the colors are rather easily. And then just put them back. I try to keep all the blues together, the reds together, that type of thing, the blacks and the clearer colors over here. And just kind of keep this on this shelf here. So that was one of the questions that I had. Now, the second question, I'm going to try to not spin too fast. Actually, I got a lot of questions about this. I had blasted through rather quickly my Cricut cartridge library, and I got a lot of questions about how I do that. So here's the scoop. This is just a clear bin. Okay, and what I do is I keep my seasonal separate, and then I keep my images in alphabetical order so I can find my cartridges, and then I keep my fonts, all right? And if you take a look, you can see that I made these like little file tab things so I can quickly find the cartridge. I don't keep my cartridges in their boxes anymore. It's too much space and I have a lot of cartridges. And so I just basically, you know, can easily find a particular cartridge if it's an image cartridge or whatnot in alphabetical order. Now, this was the thing that got a lot of questions. My Cricut cartridge Bible. And again, here I am with the glare. Let me see if I can move somewhere where there's not so much glare. No such luck. Anyway, all right, let me share this with you. Here's what I did is, you know, basically it's just a binder that on the front page, right, I put what I have, which is a font, or it's mainly a font, what my shape cartridges are. I have some Disney and Hello Kitty cartridges that I didn't purchase because of Disney or Hello Kitty, but because the extras on them are really kind of cute. I, you know, live in Florida. There's Disney, but I'm not a big Disney person. Yikes. Can't believe I said that out loud. Sorry, Gina. My friend Gina is a huge Disney fan and works at a Disney store and loves Disney. Anyway, okay. Anyway, enough of that. And then I have my seasonal cartridges. And I told, you know, I wanted to be able to know if they have a font on them. So what I do is any font that has a star next to it, if it's primarily a shape cartridge, and I put a star, it lets me know that there's also a font on it as well. Okay, so this is like a list of the actual cartridges, right? Like that. Okay. Then what I did was I made descriptions so that I know when I'm looking, like for instance, All Mixed Up, it's kind of a childlike font. I can put the font in a circle, square, or tag. There's very few phrases. And then this is just my note, you know, it's cute for a baby or something specific that I liked. And I did that for every single cartridge so that I would know where to find certain things without going through the entire book. And I can kind of just quickly go through and get a feel for the cartridges, because when you have that many cartridges, it's nice to have a description of what they are. Okay. Then what I did is I broke them apart by fonts, images, holiday season, Disney, okay? Just like the pages over here, fonts, shapes, Disney, seasonal, that kind of thing. So these are pages, all of these pages are my fonts that I have. I'm going to come back and talk about that in a second. But these would be all pages of my font cartridges. Then these would be all pages of my images, right? So various image cartridges. And then my holiday cartridges would be anything pertaining to a specific holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, whatever. And then the Disney cartridges. Now, let me just tell you what, I'll use this as an example. And this is what I did. I went on the Cricut website, okay, and I made a template. So you'll notice that they all kind of, the layout is the same, okay. I made a template in Word so that when I open the template, it automatically brings me to the title and will type it that large, okay. Then when I hit tab, it brings me to where I can add the image. So what I did was I went on the Cricut website and I copied from their website their page image. And I plopped that there, and because it's a template, it's automatically sized to fit here. Okay, then on page 2, I went back to the Cricut website and I grabbed a copy of the overlay so that from looking at it, I can see some of the features and some of what's on there. And then I also, took one picture, got one page from it, and then a copy of the cover. Then what I did was I looked to see what's the creative features, and if there's any phrases, I did that as well. Okay? So again, this is a template. So when I hit tab, it automatically brings me to the creative features. I'm able to type those in or copy them, right? And then for the phrases, I'm able to put those in. And when I hit tab again, this has a, I forget what you call that, but it's like really 2 columns. That's why I never have a problem with it kind of going over. Because again, it's a template. I am willing to email the template to anybody who wants it. Just send me a message with your email and I will email you the template. The template's already set up. It's blank, but it's a blank document that has features that allows you to basically hit tab and take you from place to place. So I plop that in and I plop that in and I plop that in, and that is the same design pretty much for all of my, unless it's like the older ones, like this is an older one, Accent Essentials, that doesn't have some of that stuff. But for the most part, it's the same type of layout, okay? As you can see. So here's a great, all right? That's that. That's how I do that. You'll see it's always the exact same because I use the same template. So that is my Cricut Bible, cartridge Bible. It's great because I can find images very quickly. I know that we can go on the Cricut, design studio, but I like to have my own so I can kind of thumb through it. I don't always want to have to go on the web to search for it. So that's what that is. Now let me share with you what I have been doing for the past, honestly, 2 weeks. It was a huge project. I had no clue it was going to be such a huge project when I started it. But here's what happened. While I was not scrapping, I had said this last week, I was still buying. And it appears, and I did not know this until I started, cleaning up my scrapbook room, that, oh my gosh, did I purchase a lot of stamps. It's embarrassing to even tell you how many stamps I had purchased. But what's happening is they were so unorganized, I didn't know what I had and I couldn't find anything. So here's what I did. I had 4 binders of stamps already organized from way back. By the time I had organized this closet, as I had told you guys before, and I had, started organizing everything, by the time I had organized that, I realized I had so many stamps that were basically still in their original wrapper that had not been put away properly, that I didn't even know where to start. So here's what I did. I took every single stamp set that I had and I categorized them. Even the ones that were already put away, in their binders, which I had 4 of these, even those I took out. And then I put them all on this table here in a category of one sort or another. And then even if, let's say that a stamp set was like a happy birthday stamp set, and the images, there were like 4 images and 2 happy birthdays. So if there were 2 butterflies, 2 birds and 2 stamps that said happy birthday, because I have so many birds and butterflies and happy birthday or sentiments, I actually divided the set. I know you all are going, okay, but I did. I divided the sets because when I need a happy birthday sentiment, I'm not going to necessarily want to look through all the binders that have a bajillion different butterflies. So what I did was these were the this is basically my categories. I started out with 4 binders initially, 2, 3, 4, and now I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that gives you an idea of how many stamp sets I had purchased that were not organized. So the topics I chose basically were just various sentiments, spring and summer images, cover a card, large background stamps, swirls and borders, hearts, flowers, leaves, Thanksgiving, and Halloween. That's kind of how my mind thought that leaves kind of go with Thanksgiving and it's seasonal type of thing. My Christian or inspirational sentiments. Travel and steampunk seem to go together, and those travel and steampunk, I also have large background stamps that are travel and steampunk, as well as clocks and cogs, butterflies, dragonflies, birdhouses, and trees. Birthday, baby, ladies, food, and animals. Tell me, I don't know, but I had a lot of all that kind of stuff, and that's really kind of my random one. And then all my Tim Holtz and Ranger stamps. I did have those in a smaller binder because they come on that, but I could never find that little small binder, so I transferred them to a larger binder. My Christmas and winter stamps, and then my frames, tickets and tags, memos, and alphabets. And to kind of give you an idea of how it looks, this is how I did it. Let me just grab this binder here. Okay. What I did was any of my stamps that are, the foam, the rubber with the foam, I put on a board like this. And anything that was clear, like my clear acrylic stamp sets, the way that I handled that was, because they have plastic on the back, let me see if I can show you what I mean, right? I just put a quick adhesive on the back of the stamp set. See what I'm saying? So that it will stay on there. And then I'm able to peel the top piece of plastic off to get to the stamp when I want it. You see what I'm saying? See? And that's how I did it. Now it's very removable because I only put one strip of adhesive down the middle of it, which is a temporary adhesive. And I pretty much did that all the way through. And so my butterflies are with my butterflies, and then I start getting into birds and bird cages, right? And if I had where the image had come with something, I kept that. So the images are over here, right? But I kept it over here so that I could see what it looked like. All right? And I think that's pretty much it. Then over here I have my tree, a couple of trees. And I kept the pictures of it, just taped them down real quickly on there. So that's how I did it. Now, another thing I wanted to share with you is I love these particular, what do they call them? They're page protectors that have like a lip, see, here, so that go over and it keeps them in. It kind of encloses them so that stuff doesn't go sliding out of the, if I can get it over, of the page protector, which seems to be a common problem for me with ones that don't have it. So I did that, and this is no lie when I tell you it took me the week and a half. I mean, you should have seen my scrapbook room, but every single stamp now is categorized. Like I said, I did break up some sets, but I did that because I need to be able to find the image. I tend to do it based off how I think, and that's why I categorized everything the way it is. But now again, I know where everything is, just like I know where all of this stuff now is, and it has made it so much easier. I am shocked at how much more stuff I'm actually using. The last thing that I did, took me about a day or so, is this. I had seen this on Pinterest, I thought, like a year ago. I thought it was a very neat idea because I have a lot of these. I actually have another bin of these different kinds of embossing folders. And here's what I did. I took tags, right? And I separated, again, just like how I did my stamps, I separated my embossing folders by how I think. And then I did a sample of the embossing folder. And at the bottom, I wrote the name of it. Now, here's the thing that you should know. They're probably not the proper names of the embossing folders. I named them, but I wanted to name them and just wrote it on the top. Like I called this one birthday words. And I wrote it on the top so that I could find them. Okay? So that now, instead of sitting here wondering what, oh my gosh, I was shocked at how many really cool embossing folders I had that I couldn't even remember that I had. So I separated them like this. And like this is I had various wood grain ones. Here's another wood grain, knotted wood grain one, a smaller wood grain. And I just, I inked these in between so I could quickly find where the division is. So rather than leaving the tag white with just words on it, I did that so I could quickly find where the divisions are in the book. Like even just looking at this, I can see where the divisions are. So I separated them a little bit, and it makes it a little easier to find, various things. I did that for these sets, and I also did it for like these. These are my plates, my 10-second plates, which are by far my favorite plates on the planet. And then my Fisker and Sizzix plates, and and my embossability folders. And I actually made a bigger, I didn't use tags for those, and I'm going to tell you why. Because these tend to be mostly texture backgrounds, whereas, this is just my little cheat sheet for how to do it. Whereas these, I've noticed that oftentimes I see they have like a lot of something on them, and it was like a tag was not enough for me to get the full feel of it. So, like this is a great example. I needed to see that whole thing. And that's why I made this one, 5 by 7. Okay? So I did that more so for my texture plates, because a great example, and I'm about to show you truly, honestly, the coolest plate on the planet. Give me a second. You're going to want it, if I can find it. Oh, this. This is a really cool plate. Love this plate. You should see it with foil. It's amazing, this plate. It's absolutely amazing. These are my 10-second studio plates, okay? And I love them. I absolutely love them. And then as far as my favorite embossing folders, 10-second studio is my favorite embossing plates. And this is by far my favorite embossing folder company. I cannot believe that they're not super well known like Sizzix and stuff like that. These are honestly remarkable. They are by Couture Creations, and let me tell you what's really cool about them. So first of all, they're 5x7. The designs are unbelievable, but they automatically come with a slit at the top. So if you want to slide your paper through to make it even longer, you can, which makes it nice when you want to make a border for your 12 by 12 piece of paper. And they are fantastic. And they have this one, which is called Victorian, that has, what do you call that? You know, the chandeliers, okay? And this is the next one is the most amazing embossing texture anything plate that I own. This is called Vintage Dressmaker. And I don't know how well you can see it. Let me see if I go over here. Very steampunk, but look at this thing. Isn't that amazing? I love this. And when I saw it at a fair last year, and when you see this on aluminum foil that has been inked with alcohol inks, oh my goodness, my favorite plate that I own. Lots of other really cool plates that they have. By the way, again, I don't sell anything. I'm just telling you what I think is cool. Cogs. I use this one quite a bit. It's very cool on the Tim Holtz grunge paper. Very cool. This one's called World Map, right? And this one's called Ascension. And this company is by far my absolute favorite for plates. The way that it just embosses, it's very clear. The images are really unique, not your typical run-of-the-mill. And that's why I needed to have them in this, so you could see the whole image. So that's why I did it in a 5x, did this particular one for my plates in a 5x7. So, I think that answers the questions. It answered the question of my Cricut Bible and whatnot. It answered the question of what was I using for my inks. Really, I got it like Target for like $3. They're just in the spice, you know, for a spice rack that you stick in your closet. So I answered that, told you about my stamps and my cataloging of my embossing folders. At this point, I'm done. My entire room has now been completely and totally organized. There is not another thing that I have to organize. Every single thing has been organized, and I am really looking forward to popping out a lot of pages now because I have no excuse. So come back in a couple of days and I promise to have posted some new pages. And also, I'm a little surprised. I'm close to like 1,000 followers. So I'm going to have to do a giveaway here soon. I'll keep you guys apprised. Okay? Take care, you guys. God bless and have a great day.